So what about you feeling stuck lately? Do you think it's something to do with your laziness or something outside of you not being exactly the way you think it should be? Or what about you feeling that I just don't have the motivation to do the things that I used to love, that I used to be fascinated by and energized by? Am I feeling lazy? Am I ungrateful? What is wrong with me? This kind of feeling of stuckness, and with all the accompanying feelings that I just described, thoughts, reactions, is very often about us facing a new period of growth and change, but not quite wanting to acknowledge it yet and face it. So, I am Tina. I am a Jungian therapist in training. I help people, counsel people in bigger transitions in their life, in their identity transformational journeys, where they are moving towards more deeper harmony, really getting to know themselves so they can align their life, their choices, and their identity with deeper sense of knowing, deeper sense of feeling that yes, this is me. This is truly me without any conditioning, expectations from others. So today I want to talk about this super important part of our life, which is identity transformations and transitions. Because just like in the nature, where plants and animals and butterflies go through certain cycles in order to become who they really are meant to become, in order to flourish in their true final form, this is exactly the same thing that we humans go through. But this requires a certain attunement and awareness. And my mission is to help you go through and navigate those most challenging cycles that can lead you towards bigger inner harmony, more authentic living, and general feeling of balance and joy of life. So let's talk about this feeling of stuckness. Very often it comes out of the blue. We have everything figured out. Maybe we are in our 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and we have built a beautiful life. We have a fulfilling career, we have a beautiful relationship, family, home, our friendship circle. And suddenly we start to feel this feeling of dissatisfaction. Maybe it's a feeling of unease. Maybe you don't sleep so well anymore. Maybe you have strange dreams. Maybe your relationship starts to bother you and aggravate you instead of giving you this sense of joy and a deep connection. And we start to look then very often the reasons for our dissatisfaction and disruption from the external world. The term midlife crisis is very often exactly connected to this stage of our life. And this is the stage where something new wants to come forth from inside us. Because just like nature, just like plants and animals, we have a code inside us that carries the information and direction of our growth towards which we need to proceed in order to become fully the version of ourselves that we're meant to become in this lifetime. And this, just like a bird's in an egg, they need to hatch. And us humans very often need to hatch more than once in our lifetime. There are certain cycles in our life which are, some are universal, but there are more cycles in our life that are very uniquely individual, where we end a cycle of a certain way of living, carrying certain roles, carrying certain identity, and then we are invited to let go of that. And this feeling of dissatisfaction, this feeling of inner restlessness, lack of life force and joy that can grow up suddenly, most often has to do with this. We have arrived onto a new threshold, and it always feels uncomfortable because of two things. Because it requires us to let go of what we have already built, what we have already learned to embrace and see as part of us, part of who we are, how we live, how others see us, the roles we carry. So letting go of what we know, letting go of things we have invested our time and energy into, and being prepared to face the unknown, which is the second part of making it so challenging, because the unknown is always scary for us. So letting go of what we know and being willing to face the unknown, that is the double challenge of these transitions. And the more we resist those two things, the more we want to hold on to what we already know and delay stepping into the unknown, the bigger the feeling of stuckness, the feeling of also internal unconscious fear grows inside of us. So how we try to manage this fear is very often trying to manage the external world around us, our relationships, our work situation, our family, our kids, our friends, because we have this hope that maybe if we fix something externally, this feeling inside of us will again quiet down and get back to sense of stability and harmony and safety. So my mission is to help you navigate this transition in your life so that you feel less scared and more attuned to what is really rising up inside you. Because our inner essence already has the code to the destination that you are navigating towards. We all have the codes of who we are meant to become in this life already inside us. So the only place where you can go to get the real answers about where you are going, what you are meant to let go of, and what you are meant to embrace in a new way about yourself, about the possibilities also externally around you. All these answers, all this information is inside you. But it's with a trick. It's not in your mind. Because our mind knows only what it has already experienced, what it has taken in from the external world, and it is always calibrated towards safety. And that means it wants us to stay with what we already know. Even if it's uncomfortable, even if it doesn't make us happy or bring us satisfaction or sense of harmony, it still feels safer than the unknown for our mind. So this is why in those transitions and those stages in our life, we need to learn how to start listening to the deeper parts of us that have the information and have the direction and have the knowledge. And this channel and my work is created to help you learn how to start listening to these deeper parts of you, how to start listening and tuning into your inner sense of direction in those periods of your life when you are required to go inwards, to go forward. So stay tuned to this channel. I will be sharing about Jungian approach, which is all about these transitions, and Jungian tools to work with your deeper parts and to really get tuned into the messages coming from inside that are directing you forward. We will be exploring the tools of shadow work, dream work, symbolic work, archetypal work, and other themes that are all designed and built to help you navigate your way, your unique path towards the next version of you and your life that feels more fulfilling, more aligned, more satisfying, and more full of life. Because we are meant to arrive there. You are meant to arrive to your next destination. But you won't arrive there if you just listen to your mind. There is a deeper wisdom, sense of direction that is already sending you signals. You just need to learn how to tune into them and understand them, and then learn how to trust them. It's a fascinating journey, and there is nothing more fulfilling than becoming who you are really meant to become. So looking forward journeying these deeper parts of you, deeper parts of being a human being a soul in this body that has a unique code that wants to be lived, expressed, and celebrated through this life.